Association versus dissociation. You cannot command a room you have already left. Hear me on this. There are two ways to be in a room: associated, present in your body, reading the terrain in real time, or disassociated, physically there, functionally gone, nodding in the meetings while your mind has evacuated to somewhere safer, smiling through the comment that landed like a blow, running the day on autopilot and realizing at sundown you never actually arrived in it. For many of us, disassociation was not a flaw, it was a field skill. Somewhere along the way, a volatile household, a hostile command climate, a room that punished your full presence, you learned that the safest place to be was somewhere else. Leaving without moving kept you functional. Honor that. It carried you through terrain that would have broken a lesser strategy. But hear the second half. A survival skill left running in peacetime becomes a liability. The checkpoint you built during the war is now stopping your own supply convoys. What protected you then may be what's absenting you now. The cost of leaving. Situational awareness is your first asset as a leader, and disassociation is its direct opposite. You cannot lead a room you have left. You missed the flicker before the ambush, the shift in tone, the glance across the table, the sentence that should have raised your hand to the radio. Later, you say, "I should have seen it coming." You would have. You weren't there. The cost compounds. Decisions made while absent are decisions made on stale intelligence. Relationships wither because people can feel when you're gone. They get your outline, not your presence. And the woman who spent years elsewhere loses the thread of her own signal. What she wants, what she feels, what in her gut has been trying to file as a report. You cannot trust your intuition if you're never on the frequency it broadcasts on. Absence has a price, and it bills you in missed signals. Association is command presence. Association is the discipline of arriving fully in your own body, your own room, your own life. It is not softness. It is the hardest posture there is, because presence means feeling what the room actually contains, including the part that made you want to leave in the first place. But this is where your power lives. Every capability you've built, pattern recognition, reading terrain, sensing the manipulation before it names itself, runs only when you're on station. Command presence is not a voice you put on. It is the simple, unnerving fact of a woman who is entirely here. Rooms reorganize around that. People who counted on your absence notice first. Presence is not a performance. It is a position and you have to hold it. Coming back on station. You don't think your way back into presence. You ground your way back. The route home runs through the body. Feet on the floor. Breath, you can count. The weight of the chair beneath you. 5 things you can see and name. Simple, unglamorous, effective. The way most field craft is. And be honest about scale. If your leaving traces back to deep wounds, coming home is worth doing with professional support alongside you. That is not weakness. That is calling for the right asset instead of digging alone with a spoon. The way back is not through your head. It's through your feet. The practice. Map your exits for 1 week. Notice when you leave. Which rooms, which people, which topics send you elsewhere. Learn your tells. Rereading the same sentence 3 times, walking out of a meeting with no memory of the middle, realizing your jaw has been clenched for an hour, coming to in the driveway with no recollection of this drive, no judgment, reconnaissance first. Your exits are the map of where you learn it wasn't safe to stay. Build a return drill. Choose one grounding move you can run anywhere without anyone noticing. Feet flat. 1 slow exhale. Name 3 things in the room. Drill it when it's calm so it holds under fire. Re-enter in low stakes terrain. Practice full presence where the cost of feeling is small. A walk, a meal, a conversation with someone safe. Rebuild the muscle before you deploy it in hard rooms. Debrief the departures. When you catch yourself gone, don't self-attack. Ask what the room contained right before you left. That's your intelligence. Write it down. Choose your absences. Sometimes leaving is right, but make it a decision, not a reflex. Excuse yourself in the meeting. Exit the relationship. Leave with your feet, not just your attention. Integration, the leadership reality. Now put this in the rooms where you lead. A dissociated leader is a vacancy at the head of the table, and vacancies get filled by the loudest voice, the office politician, the person who noticed you were gone. Your team can survive your absence on leave. It cannot survive your absence while you're sitting right there. For women, the stakes are doubled. Many of us disassociate in exactly the rooms where our presence matters most. The ones where we were talked over, credited last, tested hardest. Leaving is understandable. It is also strategically a surrender of ground you earned. The room keeps making decisions after you checked out. It makes them without you. So treat presence as an operational requirement. Arrive early enough to ground yourself before hard meetings. Run your return drill at the door. When you feel yourself lifting off mid-conflict, plant your feet and stay one more minute, then another. The women coming behind you are watching whether it is possible to be fully here and survive it. Show them it is. Your seat at the table only counts if you're in it. The coaching chair. Sit with me for a minute. Not the version of you that runs the briefing, the one underneath. I'm going to ask you what I'd ask you in a session, and I want you to answer out loud or on paper, not just in your head. Your head is where you go to leave. Which rooms do you leave most often? Name them. Now tell me what a room like that once cost you, because your exits were trained somewhere. And until you name the training ground, you'll keep running the drill. Who in your life gets your presence and who gets your outline? What does the difference between these two lists tell you about where you still don't feel safe? And the hard one. What did you miss this year because you weren't on station when it started? Don't flinch from it. That answer isn't an indictment. It's the cost-benefit analysis that finally makes staying worth the discomfort. When you have your answers, you have your terrain map. That's where the real work begins. And when the work feels heavy, start small. What might you notice? In one ordinary moment today, if you were fully here for it,